Every hero has an arsenal. But when it comes to Batman, it's the villains who often turn up to a fight already one step ahead, or at least, that's the idea. Each comes prepared, and each brings a gadget, a resource, or a scheme uniquely suited to pry open the cracks in Wayne's armor. Sometimes it's tech, sometimes it's old money, human resources, or something you could only call theatrical flair. In Gotham, you don't just have to be bad. You have to be inventive. Let's start with the Riddler. You probably picture Edward Nygma tinkering in dim apartments, hunched over blueprints. That image isn't far off. The Riddler's main resource is his mind. The riddles are the obvious part. But what's less obvious is the network. Hidden traps, custom-built devices, remote-operated doors, rooms filled with gas. If Batman wants to follow the clues, he has to survive poisoned envelopes, keep-a-docked rooms, or even mechanical death traps built by engineers on Nygma's ever-rotating payroll. The real gadget, outsourcing. Riddler hires specialists as builders, hackers, coders, all disguised under layers of shell companies. His greatest device might just be his Rolodex. Then there's Mr. Freeze. Victor Fries is a scientist first, a supervillain second. His signature freeze gun is the core of his arsenal, custom-rigged in a makeshift lab with parts acquired from Gotham's universities and cryogenic startups. This thing can turn a room into an icebox in seconds. But it's not just the gun. Freeze has cold grenades, cryogenic booby traps, and an entire exosuit that creates a microclimate around him, letting him operate everywhere, even in a blazing building. His resources: industrial-grade refrigeration equipment, chemical suppliers across the globe, and a handful of corrupt researchers who just want to see the data. For Batman, every step toward Freeze means a battle with the laws of physics themselves. Catwoman is less about gadgets, more about gear. Selina Kyle never shows up without a plan, usually involving one of Gotham's charities, a museum gala, or an unguarded rooftop. Her claws, titanium, retractable, modded over the years by a succession of underworld craftsmen. Grappling hooks, lockpicks, a handful of EMPs, tucked inside a Bucci's DIY, but selectively expensive. Catwoman's true resource, though, is the vast web of contacts in Gotham's underbelly. Fences, smugglers, the board scenes of powerful families willing to look the other way. Half the time Batman doesn't catch her, because he's outmaneuvered. His gear is the best, yes, but hers is Joker's gadgets are different. Less tech, more terror, homemade toxin sprayers, Shokunshik buzzers, mini explosives, disguised as harmless The gadgets themselves aren't high-tech, but that's the point. They've been scavenged, jury-rigged, and painted with a grin. Joker crowdsources terror, seizing TV airwaves, corrupting delivery trucks, turning the city infrastructure into a toy box. His real resource: people, or at least the ability to manipulate them. Randomized henchmen, kidnapped chemists, the odd city official. Any fight with Batman is just as likely to involve a city block rigged with laughing gas as it is a single bullet. Penguin's gadgets look low-tech, but hide cutting-edge weaponry thanks to Oswald Cobblepot's deep connections. Umbrellas, that's the classic. And it's no exaggeration. There's one for every occasion. Some fire bullets, some are flamethrowers, others produce clouds of smoke, or even unfold into bulletproof shields. Penguin's resource is money, but not just inherited fortune. He continually cycling cash through shell businesses, patenting umbrella mechanisms, bribing arms dealers, and frequently hiring ex-special forces for private consulting. Any encounter with Penguin isn't just about beating a single crooked S, beating an entire logistics operation disguised as a nightclub. Scarecrow enters the fray equipped with a veritable chemistry lab's worth of gadgets. Jonathan Crane's signature, Fear Toxin, dispersed via specialized sprayers, bombs, or even hypodermic needles slipped into a handshake. He hacks city ventilation systems, weaponizing the ordinary, HVAC units, subway tunnels, or fire sprinklers. His resource pool includes black market chemists, students lured from Gotham's universities, and the patents of old pharmaceutical companies gobbled up in shell deals. Batman never knows if his next breath is safe. Even Bane turns resources into gadgets. Super steroids, shipped in under the label experimental pharmaceuticals. Venom tanks hooked straight into his bloodstream, custom armor designed to resist blunt force. What's underappreciated? Bane's logistics. He runs a mercenary operation from South America, funding insurrections, moving black market tech, and bribing dock workers. Fights with Batman are tests of power, yes, but also of strategy. Bane always seems to have an escape route prepared. Explosives wired below the surface, or platoons of henchmen on call. And then Harvey Dent walks in, carrying nothing but a coin. But look closer. His side of Gotham is a fortress, each flip backed by hidden arsenals, purchased with the remains of Dent's public trust fund. His gadgets, conventional but plentiful. Explosives, machine guns, bulletproof cars, all modified for quick getaways. Suited for a city where every second counts. Here's what Batman faces. Not just fists, not host evil, but an endless parade of adversaries, customizing every fight, weaponizing their uniqueness, investing in tech, pulling strings, and buying time. Each villain's gadget is an extension of their psyche, their trauma, their grudge. And that's what makes Gotham, for Batman, the most dangerous city on Earth. The tools are ever-changing, the resources nearly infinite, and for every safeguard in the Batcave, there's a villain, pacing, plotting, engineering the next terrible surprise.